chance, this is the moment you could afford. There's a chance, this is the moment you could afford.
Let's play Netball! This is the 11th placing playoffs of the M1 Asian Netball Championships 2018 between Pakistan and Chinese Taipei. First up, Chinese Taipei. Here's your starting 7. Goal shooter, Tsai Yun-Hsuan. Goal attack, Dai Jun-Fang. Wing attack, Yi-Yin. Center, Yu-Cian. Wing defense, Yi-Zhen. Goal defense, Lai Yu-Jie. And goalkeeper, Chih-yi. These are your starting 7. Joining them on the court are Chen Li-jun, Chen Pen-suan, Chao Min-shan, Lee Sin-ju, and Yang Meng-jan. Also joining them, coach Lin Yu-hao, assistant coach Chao Che-ching, manager Su Chen-ho, primary care Huang Qian-feng, and official Chang Chun-feng. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Chinese Taipei! And their opponents, Pakistan. Here's your starting 7. Goal shooter, Anum Salam. Goal attack, Quratul Ain Arain. Wing attack, Kashia Asif. Center, Nayab Razia. Wing defense, Zehra Sumbal. Goal defense, Hina Rafique Rajput. And goalkeeper, Asma Akram. These are your starting 7. Joining them on the court are Zakina Shabir and Shabana Moin. Also joining them, coach Shazia Yusuf, manager Mudassar Razak, and official Zafar Iqbal. Once again, Pakistan! The umpires for this match are Emma Gregory and Asmawi. The reserve umpire is Shamin Ibrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Chinese Taipei. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Pakistan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Pakistan versus Chinese Taipei.
Hello and a very good morning to you from the OCBC Arena at the Singapore Sports Hub. It's the M1 Asian Netball Championship. Pakistan taking on Chinese Taipei. And if there is a strong feeling of deja vu this morning, that's because these two sides have already met in the second round of the group stages, in which Pakistan thrashed Chinese Taipei 67-24. My name's Shazad Haq, and with me here in the commentary position today is the former Singapore international Kwok Shu-yi. Shoes, we are expecting something similar today with Pakistan racing away to an early lead?
Of course, but I think that Chinese Taipei has done some homework, and we are hoping to see an improved performance from them today.
Yes, indeed. There is the goal shooter who was excellent for them on the first day, Anum, who really did a fantastic job. Unfortunately, she had a bit of an injury in that first match, Anum Salam, and had to go off. Happy to say that she does not have the strapping around her elbow this morning. And when she went off, it was quite clear that the scoring just tailed away a little bit. Here come Chinese Taipei. And I'm afraid their last match was kind of characterized by what we've just seen there. A number of misplaced passes, a lot of unforced errors we saw, didn't we, Shoes?
We did, but I was about to say that they were rather patient at attack.
They were. They got better as the match progressed, didn't they?
They did. And I would say it is a really good learning experience for them, considering they are so young and just in junior high. So it is a good experience for them to take home and progress from here. But it's just 1.5 minutes into the game, and they are into more possessions than we saw in that last game.
That's a very fair point. And yeah, I think the other thing we must mention, for those who may not have been following the tournament throughout, is that the average age of this Chinese Taipei team is just 14. Yep, you heard that right. 14 is the average age of this side. Pakistan, it's 24. So 10 years at this level, of course, makes a massive difference as they hope to make it 2 here. And what we saw in that last match is they had a huge lead, didn't they, in that first quarter, and then they never really looked back, Pakistan.
They didn't, and it is a good thing that they're still finding the right spaces in attack. Of course, with the sharp shooting from Anu Salam.
Yeah, at the moment it's a little bit off, but what we noticed, of course, is that they did exploit the height difference between the two sides. A lot of overhead, a lot of lob passes, which is the right thing to do.
Definitely, and I would say that Chinese Taipei's defense has improved, and they are tighter on men right now. So that I mean, that homework has paid off. And also that on attack, they are going shorter rather than over the top.
Yeah, I think they didn't play that enough, did they? The short. There we go. That's the kind of pass you're looking for. To play those short little bounce passes.
And to really just find the front options. They would have another chance now.
Just go through some of the results for you. And Chinese Taipei, I think it, unfortunately, the tone was set right from the very beginning. It was just their luck that the arguably the weaker side here, definitely the younger side, played the #1 side, Sri Lanka, who were unrelenting. And it was 137-5, and which is pretty impressive. But let's be fair. Sri Lanka, the overwhelming country here, the dominant country, they haven't lost a single match. They are pretty much guaranteed their way into the World Cup. Let's remind you that the top 2 sides will get to the World Cup. And yeah, it was a baptism of fire, wasn't it, for Chinese Taipei in that first match? As they come forward here to score their first goal. So yes, after that game against Sri Lanka, Chinese Taipei then played India, and it was a much better performance. They managed to score 25 goals, but lost 75-25. So a marked improvement, that one.
It was, definitely.
And then they finished bottom of their group. And up next was the Maldives. Oh, excuse me, the Philippines. They lost 73-21. Same kind of margin, similar number of goals. So I think they'll be fairly happy with that. They did play Maldives as well. They lost 73-10. And it's 4-2. And of course then played Pakistan, 67-24.
I love the defense work that Chinese Taipei is doing right now. They're getting a lot more possessions. Just need to steady it down, as we have spoken about. But they're moving the ball really confidently today, aren't they?
There does seem to be a little bit more about them, isn't it? And what we've seen of this Chinese Taipei team, even in that first match against Pakistan, is they learnt, they adapted as the game progressed. They weren't great in that first quarter, but the scores tightened as the quarters went by, and they got better and better, didn't they?
Yeah, and I was just speaking to a coach before this game, and he was telling me how they are big on learning, and they have a really good growth mindset. So what they do after every quarter and every game is that they analyze what went wrong, and they try to adapt as soon as possible on court, which really shows.
Yeah, I think we saw that, and didn't we? And look, the fact that they scored 24 points against Pakistan, I think that's one of their highest scores so far. Uh, 25 was the highest, obviously, but 24 next best. So I think they'll be pretty happy that they've done fairly well. They've kind of improved. Pakistan now 7-2. You see, already by this point, and we're near the halfway point of the first quarter, Pakistan were already into double figures the last time around. So there's certainly some kind of improvement here. That's actually really nicely done by the wing defense, Sumbal Zehra, who, by the way, has only been playing this game for a year. And that's the other thing. I was talking to the Pakistan coach as well, and it's a mixture of youth and experience. Some of these players have only been in the game for a year.
Wow.
So they're probably just as inexperienced as some of these Chinese Taipei players in that sense.
But they're moving really well.
Yeah. Given what we've seen, of course, the captain, Quratul, she's been playing for 8 years. The goal scorer there, Anum, she's been playing for 6. But some of the others have only got 1 or 2 years behind them. So that's why these are the two sides, the two weaker sides, as it were. They're playing off, by the way, for 11th and 12th here at the M1 Asian Netball Championships 2018. As Pakistan come forward. Well, what about Pakistan? Well, they started off with a pretty tough game themselves. They played Singapore, lost 84-17, pretty convincing, very convincing in fact. And then they were then playing Brunei, slightly better performance, lost 62-16. They had one of their best scores against the Philippines. They still lost it, but it was 62-36. And a little bit closer game against Maldives. They lost that as well, though, 60-34. They had their first victory of these championships when they played Chinese Taipei. And that one ended, as I mentioned earlier, 67-24. Pakistan said nothing less than a win today. And I think that's right, isn't it, Shoes? You would expect them that they have to go out here today looking to win this game again, given how emphatic they were the last time.
Yeah, of course. And they would have been looking to set those goals in by quarters. Like, as we mentioned the last game, they will want to score a certain number of goals in each quarter so that they can have a convincing win like they did the last game. So, although Chinese Taipei has improved their performance, the score is still looking at 11-3 right now. They are on to double figures. So that's pretty... they are obviously in control of the game.
Yep, I think Kashia Asif, not a great pass there to Anum Salam. And the coach did say to me he wanted more of the same. He said he wanted to see a big lead in this first quarter. And with about 5 minutes to go, Chinese Taipei have scored their 4th goal. So just 7 goals in it. It's not massive. Certainly not as big as the other day. Well, we're going to see a couple of changes here. This is not tactical. I think it's injury related. Goal defense and goal attack have just had a bit of a shift. The other problem is, of course, Shoes, is that they have probably the smallest squad here. They only brought 9, financing issues, which is understandable, not easy. They themselves said that women's netball, not huge in Pakistan. But curiously, men's netball is massive. It is very, very big there. And they have a league, they have annual championships, and they're now trying to build up the women's game. And it's 12-4 there, which is encouraging.
It is. And that will be... I mean, it will mean a lot for them to get home with this win, so that they can start building on this.
Yeah, absolutely right. To go back and say, hey, we've got a couple of wins. Let's put a little bit more into this. So they'll be happy with that. Of course, they've still got to get the win there. 13-4 up here. This is better from Pakistan. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's not, I don't think there are many countries in the world where men's netball is bigger than women's netball. This has always traditionally been regarded as more of a women's game. I've played men's netball for a bit of fun, but there is no serious men's netball competition in the world, is there?
Yeah, but just recently there was an Asian men's netball championship.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
And Singapore took part in it as well. Chinese Taipei just looking a bit too flustered right now with the ball. They just need to steady it down and have some patience, as they were doing in the first few minutes.
That's nicely done by Quratul, as we said, the most experienced player here. And Pakistan now just beginning to build a bit of a lead here. They scored 23 goals in the first quarter in the last time they played. Quratul had a change of heart to get herself into a better scoring position. Chinese Taipei looking to add to their tally. What we did notice from that last match is Chinese Taipei were getting increasingly frustrated, weren't they, with themselves?
Yeah, but I like that the work that Yi-Yin is doing in the mid-court. She is always available for the
Yes.
ball, and I've noticed some really good movements from her as she handles the ball right now.
There she is.
So she's a really composed player that they can count on.
Well, this is better. Nice little ending to this quarter, perhaps, for Chinese Taipei. And perhaps it'll be a different kind of match. As Chinese Taipei come forward again, and that, I'm afraid, kind of encapsulates the tournament they've had so far. Get into promising positions, but then they throw it away, unfortunately. Now Pakistan, as we enter the final minute of this first quarter, come forward. Nicely done there by Anum. She has had a good tournament so far. Accounted for 60% of Pakistan's goals. And it's at 19-6. We'll have time for at least one more goal, or a goal attempt. That was hustled pretty easily in the end by Quratul. And they can hit 20 here. What I like is they're pushing here. They're pushing. There was a clear instruction. Let's get going. Let's get going. Do you like to see that? It's a
The
bit
urgency, I like it actually. And they might get one if they are able to defend this and throw a long bomb.
Chinese Taipei themselves. That's it though.
And that's
So
quarter
it's
one.
a pretty
The score
similar
is
ending to this first quarter
21-6
as we
to
saw in the first match
Pakistan.
between Chinese Taipei and Pakistan, and it's going kind of the way we thought it would.
Yeah, and although it was improved performance by Chinese Taipei, Pakistan is clearly in control of the game, and we will see them set the tone for the rest of it.
So after the first quarter here, then in the placing for 11th and 12th, Pakistan lead Chinese Taipei We are back here at the OCBC Arena at Singapore Sports Hub for the M1 Asian Netball Championships. Pakistan taking on Chinese Taipei, playing off for 11th and 12th. Those are the bottom two positions of this tournament. It's a record number, by the way, playing in this year's event, which is a clear indication of how things are heading in Asian netball. And at the moment, Pakistan in control, 21-6. Shoes, how do we feel about that first quarter overall?
It is a big improvement for Chinese Taipei. Just 2 scores down from their last game, Pakistan. So the last time they met, the quarter score was 23-2, and that was a marked improvement by Chinese Taipei.
Yep, absolutely right. Pakistan not quite getting to the heights that they did the last time round, but still pretty decent. Chinese Taipei, there has been some kind of improvement. And in the first quarter, last time round, Anum Salam scored 18 out of 19 attempts. 18 goals out of 19 attempts. That's pretty good. Didn't quite have as many attempts this time. We must add that Pakistan have a shooting average of 77.3 overall in this tournament. Chinese Taipei, 51.5. And you want to be looking at something around the 80% mark, don't you?
Yeah, and I mean, they are, after all, a considerably inexperienced side, and it is looking really good for them to have this kind of stats from this just a year or two of experience.
Yep, absolutely right. There she is again, Anum Salam. We must also add again, just to be clear, that Pakistan have a big height advantage, on average around 10 cm taller than their opponents, which is massive at this level, isn't it?
It is, which is why Chinese Taipei has to play it short. They have just gone too long in the last few minutes. And there was an impressive block by the goalkeeper. There are just some changes into the lineups, and we will get them to you as soon as possible.
Chinese Taipei coming forward here with a chance to make it 7. There was a little bit of contact there. So they have got their 7th. And Anum, she's been clinical. Very good, 25-7 at the moment. Just remind you that it's 4-1 in the second quarter. And last time they played, it was 19-7. Here's Sumba. A lot of discussion going on amongst the Pakistan team.
No, although they are so young, the Chinese Taipei team, they are hoping in the school that they are schooling in right now, they're hoping to be the main netball ground in Chinese Taipei. And it is quite, I mean, a big achievement and a big thing that they are trying to groom these young players to play for the future tournaments.
I mean, let's not forget, at one point, Chinese Taipei ranked 33rd in the world, so they were a fairly decent side. It's just not worked out for them. This is very good from Pakistan. Anum Salam, this is unusual for her, but she doesn't normally need more than 2 attempts. Yeah, it's quite telling, isn't it? They are effectively from a school, these kids. These Chinese Taipei kids. So, given all the circumstances, I think they've done okay. And,
Yeah.
you get the impression that morale's pretty decent. They're okay. They've enjoyed this experience.
They are a very spirited side, and as I was talking to the coach, he was mentioning that they are looking for to celebrate the small victories instead of looking at a win, of course, because they know that they are inexperienced and they're trying to learn from
Yeah,
this.
they've embraced that. That's never been an issue that, oh, we should be doing better than this.
No,
Yeah.
and it's just that they have improved in the last quarter, and they will be looking to celebrate that as well. That they are looking to obviously improve their performance throughout the game. So what they'll be looking right now is to close up the gap, obviously, and to improve their possession on ball and the shooting stats.
Pakistan back with the ball. And Shu's is going to tell us in a short while about all the changes to be made.
So in Chinese Taipei's lineup, there's just a bit of changes. Of course, Yun-Cian and Dai Jun-Fang has stayed as goal shooter and goal attack respectively. Fan Yu-Tian has gone into wing attack. Chen Pengxuan has gone into center. Zhou Mingxuan has gone into wing defense. Yang Mengjuan has gone into goal defense, and Chen Lijun has gone into goalkeeper. It's a fairly different lineup from the first, but they are hoping to continue a good performance, of course, as they try to gel as a team.
Yeah, I suppose they're all trying to get a feel for it, what positions might be best for them overall. That was a cheeky little attempt there from Yang Mengchuan. (9-2) in this quarter.
That was pretty impressive ball play. Just couldn't quite shoot it in.
I suppose also, in a way, Shoes, you've got to look at it like there is actually nothing to lose for them. And you can play kind of... nothing to lose.
That was a win.
Interesting. Well, I think that just shows some of the growing confidence here. That's the second time she's done that in as many minutes.
Yeah, and they've just lost possession as well, but they...
Interesting passage of play.
Indeed.
And I think that kind of, again, that encapsulates what we've seen from Chinese Taipei. Look at that. It was a great pass to Quratul. Really nicely done.
And it actually shows the chemistry between Quratul and Anu Salam. I love the work that they're doing, screening for each other, creating space for each other in the shooting circle, and that's making it hard for the Chinese Taipei defenders.
Just going back to, oh, there you go. Again, Quratul.
Another screen.
Yep, and again, no one picking that up. But going back to the point I was making, where Chinese Taipei have really very little to lose in this. You're unencumbered by anything else. You just know that you can go out there and play. You're not worried about results. You can work on different things. It's all for the experience. So it's kind of maybe different from a lot of the other sides who may have a mission or a target for themselves and therefore put pressure on themselves. Whereas that might not necessarily be the case with Chinese Taipei. They're here to get as much experience as possible.
Yeah, and play would be really important for them right now. That playing time, which is why I would think that the lineups has changed so much throughout the quarters, just to give them all the experience of being out on court in the international stage.
Another wonderful ball to Anum Salam. It's 12-2 at the moment with 5 minutes left. Again, she's got herself into excellent position. And it'll be Quratul who will finish this off. But it was a good bit of work there from Kashia Asif. Here come Chinese Taipei. They've only scored 2 goals in this quarter. 13-2 to Pakistan. Remember, it was 19-7 last time round. That was just a couple days ago, by the way.
That's a umpire's just setting things up. It was a center. It was a contact call against the center of Chinese Taipei.
Here come Pakistan again. Anum does well, adjusts herself and scores.
She's a lot more confident now to get the back balls, Anum Salam. So what the goalkeeper of Chinese Taipei needs to do, as
Lovely
Cheng
work.
Feng-Xuan did so well.
Nice interception there.
So as I was saying, the goalkeeper of Chinese Taipei, Chen Lijun, will have to confuse the space a little around Anum Salam to make sure that they are able to get more balls.
Pakistan retain possession. (15-2), and Pakistan have done well here.
That was an offensive contact call again against Chinese Taipei. They need to just be careful of those hands as they come out for a center pass.
Pakistan, I think they seem to be playing a little bit more confidence in that first quarter. Cleverly using the space. Those high balls up to Anum Salam. She again did brilliantly there, but not so much with the shooting. 17-2. They are racing away here. This is going to be probably, oh, very nicely done. Footwork.
Yep, it is footwork, and it is their basics letting them down at this moment, Chinese Taipei.
Well, this was almost a carbon copy of the previous goal. Again, nicely done though. The three of them, the three attacking players, the wing attack, goal attack and goal shoot, have done very, very well.
And I must say, I'm pretty impressed with the center of Pakistan. That's Nayab Razia. She has played center for almost all the games and quarters in this tournament. Impressive fitness.
Yeah, I think we've got to remember that because they've only got 9 players, which is unusual, isn't it? And certainly one of them, Sakina Shabir, she only played for a few minutes in the last match. She scored 3 out of 3 when she came on. She replaced Anum for a bit, who's on the ball right now, and duly scores. She's barely played. So really, they're rotating 8 players, which makes it, you're right. So the centre there, you were talking about her, Nayab Razia. And that's a position that's a tiring position, isn't it?
It is, it is.
It's the most work.
You have to run through all the thirds in the netball court, except obviously the shooting circle. So that's a lot of to and fro.
And that would be the position that probably gets rotated a lot, doesn't it? Of all the positions here.
Yeah, kind of. But if you are able to have that kind of fitness level as Nayab Razia has, then she could stay there all day.
Just missing out there, Nayab. Chinese Taipei with just a few seconds left.
Umpires just holding time so that it gives enough time for Chinese Taipei to maybe score this.
A lot of contact going on in these last few seconds. Pakistan determined not to let Chinese Taipei score. And they've managed to do that. That's it. That's a very, very
the score
good
is 41 to
second
10
quarter
to
for
Pakistan.
And it ends 20-4 in their favour. Where do you think it's not gone quite so well for Chinese Taipei?
I think that Pakistan has actually changed up their defensive game plan to counter what Chinese Taipei was doing in the first quarter. So they are not letting them get those front or high balls. So they're challenging a lot more in the attacking goal third of Chinese Taipei. So really impressed by what Pakistan is doing.
So at halftime then, Pakistan lead Chinese Taipei 41-10. in control here. 41-10 they lead. If we just do a quick comparison with the last match that they played, these two, it was 42-9. So it is almost identical shoes. And they've just made it 42-9. And you were saying that Chinese Taipei kind of lost their way, didn't they, in that second quarter?
Yeah, they were just a bit too impatient with their passes and trying to go over the top. While, I mean, they are losing the advantage in height. So they will have to keep trying to play that short and fast game.
What was interesting in the previous match is that this quarter, we saw a marked improvement from Chinese Taipei in the last match. It was only 13-8 to Pakistan. And maybe we might have something like that here. It's one of the rare moments when they are at parity. As Pakistan come forward here with Anum. And it's 2-1. Maybe we don't hear enough. I mean, would you say netball is a very vocal sport at times on the court?
I would say that communication is a very key thing in netball, and because the person handling the ball is stationary, so it helps.
She's got
that
to see options, right?
Yeah, and obviously the attackers have to be moving, and defenders are in the advantage position to confuse a bit of space at that moment.
Lots of contact there from Sumbal. Talking of lots of contact, there's also lots of changes coming up, which we'll get a bit more information for you in just a short while as Chinese Taipei try to get their third, which they do. Something about half-time for Chinese Taipei. They do really seem to improve.
Just in the Chinese Taipei lineup, there's a change in the goalkeeper position with Lai Yu-Jie going in as goalkeeper. In the goal defense, Yi-Zhen has gone in that position, and Li Xingju has gone into goal shooter position.
So again, Chinese Taipei continue their changes, and they're keeping level here with Pakistan. This is very similar to what we saw in the third quarter of the last match.
Yeah, and like the work that Chinese Taipei is doing right now, so they have just gone back to their game plan. So using a bit more space and coming out in front. So they are also a bit more agile to the loose balls, which is really good to see.
Nicely done to get that back to the center. Here is the goal shooter, Li Xingju.
So for Pakistan, going into the goalkeeper position is Shabana Moin.
That means Asma Akram takes a little bit of a break. Anum there giving her wing attack a little bit of a look there for the pass, but she does well.
That's great.
Better defending, isn't it? There's a spring in their step at the moment for Chinese Taipei. Good to see. Very nicely done, and they can just finish it now. That is a well-worked goal. And for the first time in this match, Chinese Taipei have the lead in a quarter. Very nicely done by the goal defense. Hina.
It's important to in a game to listen to an umpire. And this moment, it was just a poor loss, but they got it back. So what happened just now was that the penalty wasn't set. That's why the possession was reversed.
Well, Chinese Taipei have a 2-goal lead here now, would you believe? And very good for them. That's down to just 1. But they will feel a little bit more confidence coursing through their veins at the moment.
It's an outside call, so they will get another chance. Need to steady it down and go for rebounds. Yeah, what Chinese Taipei is doing really well right now is that the wing defense and goal defense are doing a lot of work. So they're defending, they're not just defending really hard, they are attacking very, very well as well.
It is level though in this third quarter. Remind you again, it was 13-8 in the third quarter in the last game. It is now Pakistan back in the lead here. At the very minimum, this is Chinese Taipei's last match of this tournament, and at the very least, they'd want to at least get past their best points haul up till now, which was 25. I would think that would be probably their minimum target now.
It probably would be, and as we said, they are really big on these small goals that they want to achieve.
Pakistan want to try and get a firm grip of this quarter now. And Anum is back to her best, 10-7.
She is the player to stop the wing defense on center pass. And that is Zhou Mingxuan. So she's helping a lot on attack. Yi-Zhen as well, the goal defense.
Lovely interception as well from the Chinese Taipei center. Chen Peng-Xuan. Anum coming a bit further out this time.
That's a great front cut by Anum Salam. Comfortable position to shoot as well.
That's a good call. As we said, it's become a little bit more vocal here, Chinese Taipei, which is good to hear. And that's better defending as well from the goalkeeper, Lai Yu-Jie. What is it about half-time? Something about it that the coach has really instilled something into them.
It has, and it's probably a good time for them to rest their legs as well. So fresh legs coming in and a fresh mindset as well.
Well, this is the score, how it ended in the third quarter last time out. So we're going to get a lot more goals than we did last time round. So much more vocal. Probably the most vocal I've heard them in this tournament so far.
But I like the way that they are communicating with each other.
Right.
And it seems like there's just a renewed confidence.
Pakistan now looking to continue with their position and just strengthen it, consolidate what they've got. 55-17, by the way. As much as Chinese Taipei want to hit 25 or 26 or more, let's remind you, Pakistan want to improve on 67 as well. They're on course to do that, with it being now 55. Excellent work. And they have hit 9, which is better than last time round. Contact in that process.
It was an offside call actually. So she went offside while trying to defend the ball.
Contact there and back with Chinese Taipei. It's emergency, good to see. They sense that they still have something in this. And they're into double figures in a quarter.
Maybe something they'll be happy about. They haven't actually hit double figures in any of the games, in any of the quarters.
Yeah, very good for Chinese Taipei. And you want to kind of end on a bit of a high. There are some positives they can take out of this. Just under 3 minutes left here. Chinese Taipei with a bit of momentum now. Into 11, the gap is now just 4. Pakistan might be stung into action here. Looking for Anum, that's a good pass. She makes no mistake. Chinese Taipei though have the centre pass. That's a nice little low pass. They're learning well here. Great position. Excellent goal. These are the little things that you look out for, that you want to see more of from Chinese Taipei.
Definitely, and they are capitalizing on their fitness level, obviously, and of course, being able to utilize a full bench of players to rotate around. So just feel like the goal defense from Pakistan is just getting a bit tired, and the goal attack from Chinese Taipei, Dai Jun-Fang is just exploiting that quite a fair bit.
Yeah, it's pretty close again, like it was last time round, 16-12. And it's almost certain that Chinese Taipei will exceed the 25 goals that they scored, which is good news for them. Pakistan as well probably should exceed 67-2. Nicely done by Anum. Just had a bit of contact there on her wrist. She should be okay. Under a minute left.
Love the space that the goal shooter Lai Yu-Jie is finding in the circle. And it makes the feeders, the midcourts, a lot more confident in passing.
Could be time for just one more. Oh, great, great work. Wonderfully done. And they're on 23 already. Can she get one more? Was there contact? She's got to quickly get it.
And that is the end of the third quarter.
Well,
The score
an
is
excellent quarter from
59-23
Chinese
to
Taipei. They may
Pakistan.
not have won it, but that's been the best quarter of this entire tournament.
It was, and I really like that they have stepped up in their attack, and of course with the help of the wing defense and goal defense, excellent attacking right there to open up spaces and make sure they are able to find the right targets in the shooting circle.
So just another 15 minutes to go here in the M1 Asian Netball Championships. Pakistan leading against Chinese Taipei 59-23.
And Chinese Taipei.
Welcome back to the fourth and final quarter of this M1 Asian Netball Championships match between Pakistan and Chinese Taipei. And for the neutral, and if you like your underdogs, it's a nice little story there in that third quarter because it was a very much improved performance from Chinese Taipei. I know you were impressed. You were happy to see that they had rallied back.
I was, and it's credit to their patience attacking, and that they were able to find really good spaces throughout the court. With, I mean, of course, their defenders attacking the ball well as well. So in this moment, they've just gotten a rebound and hope to see that continue.
It might just give them the confidence to think, hey, maybe we could even win a quarter. The first quarter we could win in this entire competition, which would be something to go back with, right?
Yes, and they will be looking back at this experience to improve their play and come back into the world stage a lot stronger.
I just want to give you some stats here again because we do look back. These sides just played day before yesterday, and Pakistan won the first quarter last time 23-2, 19-7. After the half-time break, it was 13-8 and 12-7, so it was much, much tighter after half-time. And it is looking like a very, very similar kind of scenario here, where they could keep level with the Pakistanis. They could even overtake them. And certainly a chance here to narrow that gap. Pakistan 3-1 in front. Shu, it's nice to have you with us for this fourth quarter. There's a few changes which I'm sure you'll tell us about in a short while as Pakistan add to that tally. Maybe, you know, as much as Chinese Taipei are rallying, I would have thought the Pakistan coach would have also had a few stern words to say, hey, we've let them back in here a little bit. And he would have said to them, I don't want to see, because it was a little bit slack as well. As good as it was from Chinese Taipei, it did appear that maybe Pakistan took their foot off the pedal a little bit.
It was, and it is actually quite surprising to see that Anu Salam has gone to the bench and Sakina Sabir has gone into the goal shooter position. So she had a really good, I mean, although it was really short time on court, she had a 100% shooting stat, so that was impressive.
Yeah.
And
3 out of 3. Interesting. I think this is nice as well. It's a nice move from the coach because this is the last quarter of netball they'll play at this tournament. And they'll probably feel that it's good to give her the opportunity.
yeah, we want obviously Sakina to be learning as much from this experience and to be able to do more in the local setting as well. And also, there's a change in the goalkeeper position in Pakistan with Asma Akram coming back in for Shabana Moin. Whereas in the Chinese Taipei side, Yi-Yin is back in the wing attack position. Yi-Zhen has gone into the wing defense position, and Yang Mengjuan has gone into the goal defense position.
Well, Chinese Taipei have equaled their points tally, their best points tally so far this tournament on 25. So they'll be absolutely delighted with that. They got that against India. They lost 75-25 in that game. Pretty sure Pakistan will do that. Pakistan are very close to surpassing their points tally, their goals tally from the last time they played. They got 67.
Chinese Taipei has just changed up their defensive tactic to go on a 2-on-1 defense against the goal shooter instead of a tight man-on defense. It's really nice to see that they're changing up their tactics and confusing the opponents on what they're trying to do. Nice, that was a great intercept.
Very nicely done. And that was the new player, Sakina Shabir. Whose pass was a little errant. Still with Chinese Taipei. Will they shoot from here? Yes, they do, and that is now the highest points tally that Chinese Taipei have got in these M1 Asian Netball Championships 2018. So very well done to them. Pakistan now want to push on, and yeah, you can see obviously it's a little bit different once Sakina Shabir has come in, and that's not a criticism, it's the reality, because of course she's had much less experience in this tournament than the player she replaced.
And it will be on the Pakistan team to help her come into the game, of course. It's just too long a bounce pass, in my opinion. It would have needed to go through two defenders, so that wasn't a good choice of pass.
Well, that's another pass that hasn't found its target, and Pakistan have possession again. Quratul in a good position here. She'll take on some of the shooting duties as well, I would think. And Pakistan now have equalled their best points tally themselves in this tournament. Well, it was a short-lived cameo there for Sakina Shabir, and looks like the coach wants to press on here. He'll bring back his ace goal shooter. And now Pakistan have got their best points tally at the M1 Asian Netball Championships 2018. So both teams will be happy with those particular targets that they've set. There was urgency about Pakistan.
It's just a little nod there from Anu Salam to Quratul.
Yeah, you do like the partnership, don't you, between the two of them?
I like the chemistry they
Yeah.
have.
And that's very important, isn't it, between the GS and the GA, isn't it?
It is, and they need to be able to know who's creating space and who's going for the ball. So, and where is their comfortable shooting spots even, just to bring each other into the game.
And a lot of that is also about familiarity and how regular you play with each other, isn't it?
Definitely, and I mean, Quratul has 8 years experience.
Yeah, that's right. 8, and Anum has 6.
That's a really long time.
Well, she's done well there. Just beginning to push on here, Pakistan. It's 71-27. There's no way Pakistan will hit the heights of Sri Lanka, who managed to score 137, but they will most likely overhaul what India managed to score against Chinese Taipei, which was 75. Here's Sumbal. Yeah, they've got that confidence back, Pakistan. And Anum using her height to advantage, but
The goal defense of Chinese Taipei not looking very comfortable in the game. Just as per the netball rules, she has to be the one calling time, or her teammates has to call a timeout for her.
to get off. Yeah, I think she's just said that now. Looks like she heard you.
That should be Lai Yu-Jie going back into the goalkeeper position. Sorry, that was Yang Mengjuan going back into the goalkeeper position and Chen Lijun going back into the goalkeeper position. But she is still shooting her hearts out and she's getting that rebounds really comfortably. And she has accounted for 60% of Pakistan's goals as well. So prior to this match, it's 102 goals out of 170 goals that the Pakistan team has scored. Things have just slowed down in Chinese Taipei's side. Just losing possession too easily. And Pakistan exploiting that, obviously.
This is a little bit more like what we saw in the first and second quarters.
It was a contact call against the goal defense. So umpires just setting things up and making it clear that it was meant to be taken in the goal third.
Down to the end of this match. As we wind down to the end of this match, what are your final thoughts on these two sides? I mean, they can take the positives away from them, can't they?
Of course they can. They have improved in their performance throughout this tournament, and I like seeing this small victories that they have achieved. So even for Chinese Taipei, I've loved seeing their confident passing throughout this tournament, and it has gone up with every match. So they will be looking to bring this back into their country and share the experience, of course, and bring as many people to play into the netball scene as possible. For Pakistan, I hope that they'll be able to get some confidence out of this as well, so that they can bring it back into
Full time. The score is 82-27
their carnivals to
Pakistan.
To bring this women's netball into greater heights.
Well, there we go. The end of the match. Pakistan very, very dominant in the end. They pushed on in that final quarter. As Shu said, plenty of positives for both teams to take from this. It's been a good tournament. for Pakistan in particular. They finished 11th. Chinese Taipei, very big learning experience because, of course, they are by far the youngest side here. As we bid you goodbye for this playoff at 11th and 12th place, Pakistan have very convincingly beaten Chinese Taipei 82-27.
Team Pakistan won against Chinese Taipei. I'm here with Anum Salam. Anum, congratulations to you and your team. Superb victory at the end of the competition. This is the first time in a long while that Pakistan has played at the Netball Asian Champs. What are your thoughts? How's the competition been the past few days for you?
I think it's really, really great that we're participating. We all had a lot of fun, and I think every game we learned more and more and more, and we showed like how well we can play and everything. And we're obviously really, really excited by our win today.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Now, going forward, can we expect Pakistan to come back for future Asian Netball Championships? And what are areas that you're looking to improve as a team?
Oh, definitely we're going to come back, and hopefully we're going to get even better position next time, every time improve. I think we want to train together for longer, which will really help us in like coordination and like just getting goals in.
All right, thank you so much, Anum. A real pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining us here. Congratulations once again to you and to Team Pakistan. Outstanding job right here on day 8 of the M1 Asian Netball Championships. We look forward to seeing all of you here for the next match.
We were staying in Paris to get away from your parents, and I